Welcome back. As you may or may not know, we are into the playoffs for this 2018 spring season of Head2Head. This phenomenal sports debate game, of course, is brought to you by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort. And I am a broken record when I say this, but I ask the questions. Our Midco SN personalities argue their answers with the time limit. There are rebuttals allowed, but in the end, the first person to win 3 debates on the day is that day's champion. We are keeping track. We have been keeping track of the standings all season long. This is the bracket. It is the playoffs. We'll be crowning a champion next week on Thursday for our last show of the spring season. So to kick off the second and final play-in game of our spring 2018 head-to-head playoffs, we have a battle between Marty Mueller up in Grand Forks and Jason Andera right here in Sioux Falls. A season on the line right here and an added playoff bonus. Our control room will be doing the judging today, so I'll be listening to my IFB from our producer, and I will relay the message. All the pressure is off me. Love it. Okay, so anyways, we did coin flip. Marty won. He is elected to go first. Are you two ready?
Let's go.
All right, question number 1. How does new general manager Paul Fenton take the Minnesota Wild from first-round playoff bust to Stanley Cup contender?
Well, I know they said they're not going to do it, but they need to blow this thing up. Unfortunately, the Wild are just going to be that. They're going to be a first-round playoff bust with this team. They don't really have the prospects to get them over the hump. They just need to be really, really bad, like all these other teams were. Chicago was terrible before they won cups. LA, same story. Toronto, who's on the up and up, was so bad for so long. They need to build up their depth in the prospect through the draft, and in order to do that, you have to be really bad. The Wild fans will get over it. They'll come back. They're avid hockey fans. They'll be back when the team's good. But you need to be bad right now.
All right, Jandy.
You know, I kind of share the same sentiment as Marty. I think this team has to get worse before it gets better. They have a salary cap problem, and they're going to have to make some big decisions here in the offseason. It's going to be interesting, but they might have to let go of guys like Zach Parise and Ryan Suter, some fan favorites, in order to free up some cap space to build that for the future. I agree. They're going to have to blow this team up. And look at where Paul Fenton came from Nashville, a team where they had to go down before they could come back up, and now have had sustained success near the top of the standings for the last few seasons.
All right. Oh, wow, that was a quick vote by the control room. They said 5-0 Marty. All right, Jandy.
Shucks. I'll get the next one.
Okay, that's the spirit. All right, question number 2. Tampa Bay Rays closer Sergio Romo, sorry, that was bad, started consecutive games over the weekend. Is this bad for baseball or the start of a rotation revolution, Jason?
It was Bill James, the founder of Sabermetrics, who said,
oh my God.
if you challenge conventional wisdom, you usually come out ahead with a better product. And I think that's exactly what the Tampa Bay Rays have done right here. They have challenged conventional wisdom, going with matchups early in the game, and then seeing if that works. And then I think they could even tighten this thing up to a 3-man starting rotation, which takes your bottom 2 starters and makes them irrelevant. You could put them into the bullpen and just have more matchup-based matchups throughout the game. The first time through a lineup, the hitters only hit 240 off them. The second time through the lineup, they hit 250, and then they hit 270 the third time through. Get rid of your starting pitchers, more relief pitchers. I agree.
Okay, Marty.
Yeah, you know, I guess I kind of tend to have to agree. It's work smarter, not harder. If you can get these matchups out of the way and get some wins for your team in the early innings, yeah, go for it. This is revolutionary thinking, I guess you could say. One similarity that I draw is like a double team in basketball, right? Create a matchup problem for the rest of the guys and make the rest of this roster beat you. If they do, great. That's their job. They did it. Good on them. But I don't think they're going to. I think this is going to be something that we're going to have to look at. It's not going to work every single time. It's going to be a situational thing. But yeah, you know, work harder, not smarter.
Baseball's
work smarter,
been
not harder.
On the front of changing rules and trying to get better at sabermetrics and trying to get better at situational things. I think that this is just the next step in baseball evolution.
Okay, I'm sorry listening to Joe. He goes, we love the sabermetrics, so we're going Jandy 4-1. Oh my, I wish you guys could hear this. Anyways, all tied up 1-1. Question number 3. How did the Vegas Golden Knights go from 500-1 odds to win the Stanley Cup before the season to now being 4 wins away from hoisting it. Marty.
Well, their GM did a phenomenal job. George McPhee went out and assembled a really, really good, balanced team. He didn't just go out and pick the best player from each of it that was available on each team. He found balance. And the other thing he did is he robbed the Florida Panthers blind with a pick, or with a trade for Riley Smith and Jonathan Marchessault. He got a 4th-round pick out of that. It's just bonkers how he did that. He had to, obviously retain some salary, all that good stuff. But he did it with those 2 things, and the fact that all of these players come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, but they're on an even playing field in the locker room. They don't have anybody to, I guess, be not a leader, but a guy that's established hierarchy. Everybody comes in on the same playing field, establish the chemistry. I guess you have a Stanley Cup finalist.
All right, Jandy.
To make a swing like this, you have to go find players that are hungry to win, and that's exactly what Las Vegas did here. Is they went out and found players with a chip on their shoulder, like Marty said, who want to come in and win, and they've done it in the playoffs. 12-3 in the playoffs. I mean, that comes from veteran leadership. And then how about the electric atmosphere that Las Vegas has provided their NHL fans? That has been a huge boost to this team throughout the playoffs on their run to help them go 12-3 in the playoffs. Crazy, and that's the formula.
That's the formula. All right, control room. 5-0 because Marty knows hockey.
All right, then.
Joey said, direct quote. Joey's our producer, everyone. Joseph Beltram. Anyways, all right, Marty's up 2-1. Question number 4. WWE and Fox are finalizing a deal that will bring SmackDown Live to the network beginning in October of 2019, worth $205 million annually and more than $1 billion overall. Is this a good idea or not, Jason?
Well, it's a good idea if you own the WWE, because you just made a ton of money for your product. And hey, more power to you guys. Not many television shows across the nation on network television draw 20+ million viewers. However, the NFL, who gets actually less viewers on a Thursday night, made more money from that package because advertisers want to be associated with the NFL. They want to be finding the people that are watching the NFL. I don't think advertisers are as much looking for people who are watching SmackDown, so bad decision by Fox.
Ooh, Marty.
Okay, well, yeah, I think it's a bit of an interesting decision, right? They split up the Raw and the SmackDown, which is kind of weird. You're going to compete with NBC for that, and then you're also competing with yourselves. You have the UFC already, so you have to find that balance between fake combat and real combat. But yeah, you inject the money into the product, and you hope you can develop maybe some more characters, maybe a bigger event. I don't know how you'd get bigger. They already do it in a crazy amount of production. But you inject more money into the program. Hopefully you develop some more talent, some more interesting people. This might have been a good decision for them if they can keep up the viewers and the dollar amount.
I have to say one last thing before you guys make your decision. I'll tell you what, this is kind of a traditional thinking by Fox, if you ask me, with Amazon and Facebook and all of these companies coming out with live formats, YouTube. It's going to be tough to do traditional deals like this and get your money back. So good luck, Fox.
All right. 4-1 Jandy.
Whoa.
Wow.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
This is so fun. Okay, question number 5. For all the marbles, someone's season is about to end. Anyways, are the Twins buyers or sellers at the trade deadline this year, Marty?
Yeah, they're a pretty mediocre team, I guess. Second in the Central, that isn't a very great division. Below 500 team, but they're okay, right? They're okay. You would think, maybe they can go out and get somebody. No, the Twins are sellers. They always have been. If I have to pick, honestly, I would say they do nothing, but I have to pick one. So traditionally, history will tell you they're sellers. They're going to do something to get rid of someone that's talented. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith in the Twins. They just keep doing it time and time again. They're sellers, unfortunately.
Oh, that was a downer. Anyways, Jandy.
Buying and selling at the deadline to me is very overrated, but I think the Twins actually got it wrong last year when they decided to become buyers to get Jaime Garcia on the team, and then 2 weeks later shipped him off to New York, decided to sell everybody, Brandon Kinsler, and then they actually improved. So I don't think it matters much what they do, buy or sell, But with Irvin Santana coming back, just being one game out of the race, Cleveland's not running away with anything. I'll tell you what, they've got to think of themselves as contenders. Maybe they could add one piece at catcher. That's the position I think they can get better at.
All right, control room. Oh, they're debating in there, you guys. Someone's season is about to end. Oh my goodness.
You see how tense we are.
Oh, here we go. Marty 3-2. Ha, JND, you're done. Okay.
Back to the producer's booth for me.
Thanks for playing, guys. If you have any topics or questions you'd like debated, let us know. We only have 6 shows left after this. And as you know, we are into the playoffs here in Head2Head, so we're always looking for the tricky questions. You can tweet them at me at StuartMidcoSN or to our network account at MidcoSN. We would love to hear from you guys. Next on Midco Sports tonight, I'll get you up to speed on what to expect the rest of the week on our network. Stay tuned.